More than 1 million men and women make up the fighting force of the U.S. Army, and keeping them going takes a lot of weapons, fuel, and food. The Army wants to make eating healthier and more enjoyable for soldiers. And to lead a culinary overhaul, they're turning to a celebrity chef. He brought our Bradley Blackburn into the kitchen to see how.
Vanguard! Discipline!
Fort Jackson in South Carolina is a training ground for Army drill sergeants.
Seven drill sergeant! Hey, drill sergeant!
And a different kind of warrior, Chef Robert Irvine.
How many times have you been at Fort Jackson?
Oh, my goodness. Too many to count.
The U.S. Army asked an English outsider to reinvent how it feeds its soldiers. Canned ingredients and mess hall chow are out. And this is what he's been cooking up.
This is real food, real chicken that's seasoned. Look, oh, look, fresh herbs. Where do you see fresh herbs in the military?
It's called Victory Fresh, a recipe for a kind of food the Army has never really seen or tasted.
Can we try a slice of the brisket?
Yeah.
Like brisket sliced to order.
It's fatty, it's salty, it's earthy.
Excellent.
That's how Army food should be.
The chef got his start as a cook in the British Royal Navy. He later led professional kitchens and became famous for shaking them up.
Let's get to work.
As host of Food Network's Restaurant Impossible,
$6.75 is the lowest selling price I can sell it for. Why?
he's often helped struggling restaurants get back on their feet.
You're ensured that you get all that covered, the labor, food, and overfood.
You're known for turning around restaurants, but turning this around is different, right?
Yes, it's big.
The Army cooks more than 250,000 meals every day.
Today's soldier finds that his daily fare is varied and substantial.
But so much about mess halls was shaped back when World War II-era facilities were built for efficiency. Irvine says the segmented trays and drab surroundings aren't serving modern soldiers.
It doesn't always have to be so institutionalized. That, to me, looks like a prison.
Does the Army need to spend more money on food?
We don't need more money. We need smarter purchasing. We need smarter people that come in and are held accountable to do the jobs that we're asking them to do.
The good news, the brass are on board. At Fort Hood in Texas, right next to the Strykers and tanks, we met 3-star Lieutenant General Christopher Mohan, who's in charge of all Army supplies worldwide, including food.
We spend billions feeding our soldiers, billions.
I think they say an Army marches on its stomach.
Absolutely.
It's true?
Absolutely. Food brings us all together. Food is the fuel for our warrior athletes, if you will.
Success in war has always depended on feeding troops. But today the Army is battling an obesity problem. It's a priority for the Secretary of Defense.
It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops.
Food is a big part of fixing that.
Huge, huge part.
But mess halls are so unpopular, many soldiers eat fast food instead, which can be unhealthy and expensive.
They only eat about 25% of the meals they're entitled to in our military dining facilities.
What do you think of that?
I think we're failing. I think we're failing, and we have to meet them where they are.
Let's talk about Chef Irvine.
I really appreciate him because he's blunt. And he's looked at me and said, hey, General, you guys are stupid for doing this. And I appreciate that kind of talk.
That's not hard for a general to hear?
No, not from somebody like him. Look, he knows what he's doing.
For new ideas, Irvine looked far away from Army posts to the campus of Columbia University, where he took us to meet Vicki Dunn.
4,000 people a day out of this kitchen, Chef.
The head of dining has taught the school a lesson about food. Many students were dropping meal plans, so Dunn changed their entire approach.
It was to create a culinary mecca. The food needs to be fresh. It can't be cooked hours before. Buying from sustainable sources and local sources.
In the kitchen, she's retrained staff with restaurant-caliber skills.
Nothing wrong with a little tequila in a dressing, right?
That was Patron.
That was Patron, exactly, yeah. This is not only good for drinking, it's also good for marinades.
It's also proof that they are not cutting it short on ingredients.
There you go.
In the dining hall, students are now showing up and loading up on fresh, healthy food.
Let me get one of these.
Take two. It is a huge change. When I first got here, I think there was about 1,500, 2,000 people on the meal plan. Last semester, we had 7,611 students on meal plans.
Students and young soldiers are the same age with the same tastes, so the chef brought Army officials to Colombia to see how Dunn did it while keeping per-meal costs contained.
It's the same amount of money that the military gets as what Vicky gets. So same age, same money, so what's the problem? We can change.
Back at Victory Fresh, they're testing it out, and soldiers are eating it up. From salads and wraps to pizzas baked fresh in this high-end oven. The chef approves too.
It's a whole different experience.
It's worked so well, at 5 forts, the Army is now ripping out old mess halls and building new campus-style dining venues. The first will open in February. Irvine wants them worldwide.
I'm not in the military. I'm not paid. I'm doing this because I truly believe in the mission.
But already, troops say the chef is changing the culture of feeding an army.
You think this guy's making a difference?
Absolutely.
They're proud of the country. Now let the country be proud of them. Let's give them what they deserve on the plate so they can do what we need them to do when they go out there. That's my fight. That's Robert Irvine's fight. And I'm good with that fight.
For CBS Saturday Morning, Bradley Blackburn, Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
I love that story. I texted my cousin last night. He's in the Army. I said, how's the food? He said it is healthier and more affordable than ever.
250,000 meals a day. Reforming that is not easy.